And now, broadcasting live from the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to In the Know. I'm Craig Ramey.
Good morning, Craig. I'm Megan Johnson. So glad to be here on a Thursday morning.
It's a beautiful morning. We've had a bunch of rain. It's been kind of gross the last couple of days, but this morning is actually kind of nice.
It is nice. Yeah. Everything's green and lush.
Yeah.
Got happy.
That's right. But yeah, it's great to see you. We're rolling into the weekend here, a little Thursday, or some people call it something else. Our guest, Matt Bircher, will tell us in a little bit another name for Thursday.
Oh,
There's an exciting name for it.
Exciting name for Thursdays.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm always like to know something new.
And I did tease it up a little bit, so we do have Matt Bircher with us. He'll be our guest in just a little bit. He's a former student, but currently an admissions specialist, so he can help answer questions about enrolling in the summer or fall or getting tours around campus and all things Craven County.
All things.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's an expert. You're looking at me like, okay, move on, Craig.
I'm just looking like all things. Oh, hello, Cup. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and good morning to Joseph and Holly. How are y'all doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody?
We're doing real good.
Awesome. On our Friday Eve?
Yes.
Okay.
Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. Can I call it Friday Eve?
You know what? You can. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
Because I'm always happy when we have people watching us on the live stream on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're having a Thursday, but you like to call it something else.
What do you call it?
What's your favorite thing to call it? Mine's Little Friday.
Little Friday.
Yours is Friday Eve.
Friday Eve. Okay. I am... Sorry, I got to turn off my phone.
That's okay.
All of a sudden, it started dinging. So
that's okay.
All good.
We're busy people. We run in here. Sometimes we don't silence our phones when we come in. That's okay.
And I did run, and then I was sweating. So
yeah.
But that's
okay.
What's new.
That's all right. So is there something special going on today that I need to know about?
There is something special.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. What is it?
So today we are celebrating. Ready for it?
Look at these notes.
I know. I had to write it down.
Okay.
It's National Alligator Day.
Whoa.
Alligators are some of the largest and most ferocious types of lizards. They first were recorded, the first record of their existence was over 37 million years ago. But some researchers trace their existence actually 20 million years prior to that.
Wow.
They're old boogers.
That's why they're not messing around when you see them. They don't care. They're just going to gobble you up.
So there are 3 areas that they are native. Would you know what they are? You want to take a guess?
Are we talking about states or countries or
countries?
What? Countries. Well, the United States.
Correct.
I'm
looking for something. Sorry.
Okay.
No, keep going.
I'm going to phone a friend.
Go south.
Brazil.
No, close. You want to ask Matt?
Yeah, I was going to bring in Matt.
Are you an alligator expert, Matt?
I don't consider myself one, but I would like to be. And this might be the start of something
new thing?
See, Matt's game for whatever.
He's here maybe Mexico?
Mexico, correct.
Okay, all right,
correct.
See?
And China.
I would not have guessed China.
I didn't know that either. So now you are in the know.
Okay.
So, and the Chinese alligators are significantly smaller than the American alligators. Well, I wanted to tell you a little fun fact about what happened yesterday. So I get these funny pictures from my welding instructor, and it's a picture of this giant alligator. There's the picture of him in the middle of the road on Rocky Run. So, and it's his neighbor's yard that this alligator is in, right? So he's sending me these funny text messages. So this is what the Onslow County Sheriff's Department posted yesterday afternoon. Breaking. Onslow County deputies nab offender with scaly intentions. On Wednesday, May 28, 2025, deputies in Onslow County wrangled this prehistoric prep off of the pavement. Today, he was caught loitering near the double yellow line on Old 30 Road. Witnesses say he was just chilling and snapping, clearly ignoring the no loitering or lounging on roadway sign. They named him Pepe. Pepe the gator is about 350 to 400 pounds and almost 10 feet in length, and he has been cited for suspicion of being a dinosaur without proper papers, public loitering with intent to sunbathe and obstructing traffic.
Okay.
Deputies reported no injuries unless you count his pride when the gator refused to be cuffed. When told the gator the gator has been safely relocated, and no, he did not get to ride shotgun. So Shout out to the Onslow County Sheriff's Department that got him safely relocated.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to do a day on the job. I would
Correct.
imagine wrangling an alligator
Was not on the top list when you're eating your Cheerios.
You're starting to hear more and more stories of alligators creeping into people's backyards,
Well, after Hurricane Florence, we had 2 sightings of alligators in our front yard.
Did you really?
We did. Mm-hmm. We sure did.
I really like the hashtag only in Onslow, but it sounds like it can happen.
It can happen anywhere,
right?
Matt. You're right. So we actually have them in our sounds. So you can find them in Pamlico Sound. You can find them in the creeks, in the marshes. We have them in Trent, on the Trent River. We have them in Bryce's Creek, and we have them on the Neuse. So
yes. Oh yeah, they're around for
everywhere.
sure. Yeah, I haven't seen too many of them, but I've heard lots of people who have seen them. I've had some friends who have taken photos of them over on Bryce's Creek as well. And
my friend was, she has a house right off of Oriental and the Point, and she was kayaking. This was several summers ago, and her dog was following her, and she thought it was a log. And all of a sudden, the log looked up a little bit higher, and
the log had teeth, right?
Yeah, the log had teeth, and it was swimming this way. She was like, oh, so she was trying to distract the dog and get back to shore. So there wasn't, a gator and big puppy dog.
That's terrifying.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, National
this is
Alligator Day.
Yeah, this is why I don't really swim in Craven County. I just don't do it. Even
when you can't see your toes.
Yeah, it's just not a good idea, right? There's probably some safe places. Yeah.
Places.
No, you get spliced by the gator is what happens.
No splicing. No splicing today, please.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's my day.
Okay,
That's
well,
my
that's
thing.
exciting. Yes.
Yes. If you've seen alligators lately around here, share with us on the post of if you got
Yeah,
pictures
your gator
too.
photos.
Yeah, gator photos.
Yeah, there's somebody's probably made a gator map somewhere, right, of all the gator sightings. I'm sure there's some wildlife folks that have done that
To
too.
be sure.
Really?
If they haven't, they should. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one right behind you.
No.
Yeah. So moving on from gators.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about some Panthers. Craven Panthers, right?
Craven Panthers.
That's where we're at. We're at Craven
right.
Community College. And Matt, so you are an admissions specialist here at Craven.
Yes,
right?
sir. I am.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm gonna move
Thank
my
you guys
bottle out of
for
your face.
having me.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So let's tell people a little bit about what that means. So if they're
Yeah.
wanting to come to Craven and you're an admissions specialist, what would you be able to help them with?
Yeah, so we kind of consider ourselves to be on the front lines, I guess, to a lesser dramatic extent of what that term can mean otherwise. But the front lines here on campus, meaning anybody who comes here to Barker Hall to get started, those very first steps, we're there to welcome them in with a smiling face and then ask them what they're here to do. Some are here to register, some are here to sign up for classes for the very first time and they just don't know what to do. They knew where to go, thankfully, because they found themselves here. But really just walking them through those first admission steps. So completing the residency questions to determine their residency status as either in or out of state, and then that then allows them to do the application for our college and whichever program they wish to pursue with us here. It's not really our role to help guide them to making that decision. Our advisors, they do a really great job of doing that general advising session with them just to kind of assess their goals. Some kind of come in, hey, I know exactly what I want to do. This is the route I want to take. And if they do know that, we can go ahead and start them with those residency questions and the application, and then just guiding them through how they can request their high school transcript, which is typically the next step that is needed to move them from what's considered provisional status, which is when they've applied, we've processed their application, they've got an ID in our system. They don't know their ID yet because they haven't officially been a student yet, and then when they request that transcript, which we can guide them on how to do that, we get that, we enter it in, they become a student, and then Jay, our other admissions specialist, they do a really great job of the communication side of things with our Element 451 CRM platform that's been implemented really well to really reach out to our new students and making sure they know that they are a student and how they can proceed with. Because once you become a student, that's not the final step. The registration follows that, and so really an admissions specialist just being there on the front lines, first steps for all new and returning students as well.
Yeah, it's almost like a triage, right? Where somebody
Yes.
walks in the door and they're not really sure what they need. You're not really sure what they need, and you talk to them and get some of that baseline information, really help them out. I would imagine there's a lot of people who walk in the door who just aren't sure what they need or what they want to do, right? And so the advisor might help them on what they want to do, but you got to help them kind of prepare for success and make sure that they're kind of going through those early steps. And it can be scary when you're first going to college. You don't know all those things. You don't know what you need, and it can feel a little overwhelming. And I think that's part of what your role is as well, right? You and Jay both kind of help diffuse maybe some of that anxiety, or kind of help answer some of those early on questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think really as soon as they walk in the door here, the way our building's set up, we have Alexis there at the very front desk who sits out in the, I guess, the main lobby area before you get to the library steps. But she sometimes will guide over the students and almost kind of encouraging them just to keep walking forward to where they need to sign in.
Yeah.
Really
Don't run back out the door.
Yes, please stay with us. We won't bite. Speaking of alligators, right? None of those here. But yeah, definitely just want to make sure it's a safe place that they want to, spend their time at, because we know it's an investment of not only their time to be here to, whether it's taking off of work or showing up before or after work, with extended summer hours. Being here 7:30 to 5:30 during the summer, but also to the investment of their resources as well. Obviously, financial aid, they do a really great job of promoting the different opportunities when it comes to paying for college, but just, before the payment part of it, just actually doing it. So you definitely want to greet them with a smiling face and just a welcoming environment. And even at the times where we have the lobby full at the peak registration periods, if we can all kind of take a step back and realize what we're doing and why we're doing it, it can kind of lessen the energy we're giving off that may be a little hectic at times, because people feed off of that, I think. So we definitely want to promote that.
So Matt, as an admissions specialist, what would you recommend when somebody decides whether to walk in or make an appointment? What should they bring with them?
So really what's needed, and we do typically do walk-ins. A lot of people ask, hey, can I schedule some time with an advisor? And really, as long as it's between 7:30 and 5:30 during the summer, and then obviously 8 to 5 during the fall and spring, any available advisor is willing and able to meet with any student who's interested in taking curriculum classes. But really, when it comes to doing those residency questions, we do have a little one sheet that kind of breaks down what exactly they will need. So they'll need to know their social security number. They'll need their driver's license number if they have that. So those are kind of the two main things. And then if they are a dependent of anybody that claims them as such on their taxes, whether it be a parent or guardian, if they live under the same roof, even if they are self-supporting and cover everything else but live under the same roof, they will also need their parent information, so their social and driver's license number. Some people are able to send that text message or call to their parent or guardian as they're doing it. Others, kind of prefer the parent to be with them doing it. But those are kind of the two main identification-related things as far as doing those residency questions. And once they do those residency questions, get their tuition status as either in or out of state, that is when they could do the application. And at that point, all they need is just to know exactly what program they want to apply for.
Yeah. And we have lots of windows of entry to be able to start programs at Craven. So right now we're at a point where people are registering for the summer flex terms, right?
That's right. Yep.
So there's time still to do that. And of course, people who want to come here in the fall, maybe they've just graduated from high school a week ago, right? A week ago, almost. And they're not sure what they want to do, or they hadn't really applied anywhere yet. There's definitely time for them to come in and start that process now. Right?
Absolutely. And obviously we definitely promote, the sooner the better, because some people, they do, time can kind of catch up to them, and before you know it, it's, middle of July and end of July, and they're saying, oh, class is starting in a couple of weeks. I need to start the process from square one, which some people typically do. And we do obviously assist all people, regardless of their timelines and how late they put things off. But it makes it easier for everybody and is a lot less stressful, especially for the student as well, because when you're able to not have to worry about rushing through the steps or I think you enjoy the process more and you get to realize what you're doing and taking that next step to continue the education journey, whether it be from high school or if you graduated 10 or 15 years ago or more and you're making that decision to return back to school. I think it makes the process a lot more enjoyable. But definitely, beginning that, registration period, is continuing that for fall. Definitely the sooner the better. We're here to do that.
Is it too late to sign up for the first term? Because I know that there was some late term registration.
Yes.
Is it too late for that, or just go to B term?
So now we are in that B term period, and then into fall as well. And I know we do have a lot of visiting students who return, who attend other institutions elsewhere and are either back home or choosing the online option for just taking a class or two. So a few of those courses, just depending on availability, that's where the advising team will kind of walk those specific students through potential openings and courses, and that's just the communication with the special students email. Special students at cravencc.edu is how they present those requests.
Yeah.
So Matt, your journey with Craven started as a student. Can you share us a little bit about that journey, your process, why you stayed?
Absolutely. So my official journey actually began in the last few weeks of my high school years when I was applying to be a Hearst student ambassador. I was still, had maybe less than a month left at West Craven High School, and it was May of 2019. And part of the interview process for the Hearst ambassadors, Mr. Craig was actually a part of that.
Really?
It was him and a few other, I think, past or current ambassadors. And then the leader at the time, Emily Stewart, I believe, was the leader at the time. So it involved you. One of the first times I actually went into a building on campus was then. But really, the decision to become a student was, I got to realize there's so many different pathways when it comes to continuing the education journey beyond high school. And I definitely made the most of the CCP pathway, Career College Promise, that you're able to take some free courses aside from the book fee in high school. And so I did about a semester worth then and was able to make that seamless transition to being a full-time student. And it really helped to be involved with the ambassador team, with SGA, getting familiar with campus, meeting staff members who are a big role on campus. And so really my time began then and really just throughout. And obviously we had the spring of 2020, that crazy time where things got reverted online. There wasn't a whole lot of events happening. I was part of the drive-through graduation ceremony in the spring of 2021. So being a part of that, I didn't get the full event experience that our students are able to get now, being on the other side of those times. And so returning back when the opportunity was presented to me to be part of the Campus Life team, starting out part-time, helping plan the events and coordinate those, and campus tours, being able to bring people on campus to see all the things we have available for the students and staff to be part of. It was almost like getting to, I guess, redo some of the things I missed out on that stretch of time, just being part of it, not necessarily from a student point of view, but putting myself in their position and really wanting to make it a worthwhile experience for them to be part of.
And I've seen you on those tours. You take it very seriously. I mean, it's fun, but you take it very seriously as far as like you show them all the opportunities that are available. You've led middle school tours around, which I'm sure is not an easy thing to do sometimes.
That's an experience for sure. And that was really the main, they formed a position, the Campus Life Support Specialist is what the title is now, and really just to provide support for the Campus Life Coordinator, who Ms. Rosa now is that. But really just to coordinate those tours, and really at the middle school age, they're kind of reaching the crossroads when they're entering high school of how they're going to approach their education journey. Some, want to take it more seriously than others, but really promoting that pathway of starting off with a good foundation, because it's a lot harder to come back from one that is not as strong. So really gauging and building their interest at that level, kind of towards the end of their middle school journey. That was really at the back of my mind, even as you're trying to wrangle the groups together and get them on the same page and get them to listen to what is being presented to them. But really, ultimately, it's just to make a memory for them that they can think back on 4 years later. Oh, I remember that time where I was on campus. Which campus was that? And Craven Community College. And so just kind of planting the seeds early on. But it's something that I do, am able to do now too, and mention it, taking it seriously. Oftentimes doing the individual tours is what I've transitioned to now. Often the parent will be involved, so they'll come and they're getting the information as well. So making sure that their student is going to be in good hands, because going past those high school years, they're kind of inching their way out into the real world. Even if they do remain local, they're still taking that step where it's going to be up to them to show up and do the work and make sure they're going to be at an environment that is supportive and welcoming to them.
You made a good point with the parent tour. So I think a lot of times people, they think about if they're going to a university, scheduling that tour. That's kind of part of that process, but they don't always think about that at a community college, right? They think, well, it's in my backyard. I kind of know what there is to offer. But I know I've seen you in the golf cart with parents and potential students going around to all different parts of the campus. And people should know that. They should know that they can schedule a tour, a personalized tour, right? It's not just a big group of 30 people, which you have those too, but you can schedule your very own tour where you can ask questions and get that sort of one-on-one experience.
Absolutely. And thanks to the genius marketing team, we're able to have these little tour business cards where we got the little QR code on the back. And I know we're not supposed to promote them, but we're going to keep it just between us here and everybody else watching there. But really, that's such a great way to make it easy for people to make it personalized to where when they do the tour request form, they're able to pick the day that works best for them, and we leave the time open for me to follow up with them via phone call is typically the preferred method of getting in touch with them to ask, hey, what time works best for you? Here's the time that we're here. I know you picked this day, and then really making sure it aligns with their schedule. And really, it's typically half an hour, and they can stay as long as they want to, because some people with their parent, they want to go ahead and while they're here, begin the admissions process. Maybe they, after doing the loop around campus, they saw a program that really piqued their interest. So they kind of know that pathway. So then they can begin the admissions process while they're here, which we can walk them through those residency questions, application. Some who do the tours, they've already done those steps, and they just want to see what campus is like for their first day of class in a few months from now. So you have those students and you have those who don't know at all. But it's really geared for anybody, whether it's just them by themselves or them and a parent. They can bring as many guests as they want to. I've had
the whole family.
I've had the whole family. I've had friends. I've had cousins and all kinds of
but that's kind of what we are, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
we're a community. If those are the people that are involved in your life and your success, then they should come on the tour.
For sure.
Right? And I don't want to interrupt, but I just don't want to forget on July 1st we do have an open house as well. So people who are maybe not able to take a tour or still thinking they might want to come to Craven Community College, do mark it on your calendar. You can come here on July 1st. It's our 60th anniversary open house from 5 to 6:30 p.m. So there is that. I'm guessing Matt will be here for that as well.
Of course, and also our new student orientation will be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on July 16th, and then the evening will be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on July 17th, which I'll be happy to spend my birthday evening there as part of that. So I'll be looking forward to doing that then.
I'm going to reiterate, Matt has shared a ton of really cool stuff, but I just want to reiterate that he called you and your team, including Joseph and Holly, genius.
Yes.
The marketing team is genius.
Matt is very kind, and he's always very appreciative of the
that's
work that
awesome.
we do together.
I had to reiterate that.
A
lot of good info. I just had to
Absolutely.
And I know before we run out of time, I do want to mention when he's talking about that genius marketing team, one of the first experiences he had with us was when Holly interviewed him, because as a student, you had written your first book. Is that right?
Yes. So speaking of the later months of my high school years, I had a free class period there at West Craven High School my senior year. So I spent that time there at the school library working on a little novel that I just formulated one weekend, and spent the last semester of high school working on that, and then went through the fun publishing, editing process, and then that bled into my time here as a student, and it was November of 2019 when it was finally published and made available for people to read. And Miss Wendy White, who was the head of the library at the time, she was actually at West Craven when I was there for a period. And
we love Wendy. She used to be a co-host with us.
Right here.
Was she really?
Yeah.
So this is the Wendy chair.
That's right. Yeah.
Right here
The Wendy
in
chair.
honor of Miss White. But she, knew about the book, and so she worked it out with Miss Holly here to do a little profile on our just the Panther News and getting the word out to the people here, and as well as the Sun Journal at the time, they were able to publish that in their article as well. So that was really
What's
really
the
neat.
title of the book?
So that first one was titled As Far as the Eye Can See, and I've done 5 total, and I'm not sure, I can't promise any more now. I do more nonfiction writing. I have a blog site called The Narrative of Names, where I've interviewed some influential people in the community and in my life, some West Craven High School coaches that were all there for 30 years, some other local athletes and people who have played a big part in the community as well. So I've really enjoyed doing that, and I still, have the writing bug that I get to do in my free time. That I might have less free time now, but I'm still able to do that. And all writing is just sitting behind a screen and creating words from a blank page, and so I really enjoy that, and I'm glad Miss Holly used her writing skill to promote my first book, just getting started. I think she did a couple of other articles as well, so that was a really big help, and I've never forgotten that. So that was
That's
a big,
awesome.
big thing.
So so if folks want to read your books, I'm sure they can find them where?
Yeah, they're
where
on Amazon. Just search my name, Matt Bircher, and you might have to scroll through some more popular books to get there. But but it's just a really a fun, creative hobby. I just got to share with other people as well, and it was a nice little thing I could do through my college years. So really enjoyed just that creative outlet that may be. I think is a really fun thing.
I agree.
Are there copies in the library upstairs?
I'm not sure. There should be.
I suppose we might need to change
I know
that.
in the local libraries at the New Bern Library, Vanceburg, Cove City, the regional library, they've done a really good job. I've had some signings there, and the release
That
of the
makes me
books.
I like libraries.
Yes, and I was there at the New Bern Farmers Market some on Saturday mornings during my college years. So the local support has been great, and it really started here on campus too. And so it's been a privilege to be back here from the staff member perspective and getting to make it a great experience for the students. And got a lot of good staff members to look up to who have been here longer than I have, and I consider myself a newbie, less than a year in my current role now, and just over a year overall. So definitely appreciative of that support.
Well, congratulations. Your journey has been beautifully pathed, and we're so glad to have you. And newbie or not, we're just keep going.
That's right. That's the plan. Yeah, I want to be
That's
here
awesome.
for the long haul.
That's right. So if anybody is interested in coming to Craven this summer or the fall, come on down to First Stop or into Barker Building where we are now, and maybe even ask for Matt when they come in. Right?
Absolutely. And also, too, if you do want to do an individual tour, that is available on the website. I'm sure there's several links just about on every admissions-related page. It's just a direct link to that form. And when it's completed, I get it and follow up and go from there. Next thing you know, you're sitting in the class at Craven.
That's right.
That's the goal.
Awesome.
Yay.
Matt, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you, guys.
with us
I
today.
appreciate
It's
it.
been a real
you.
pleasure.
It's been really fun. You guys do a great job. And
Oh, thank you.
it's, you guys are really a bridge to what's here on campus to the community. And when there's a lot of things in our local community, in addition to a lot of things on campus, that's a lot of things to cover, of course. So y'all do a great job of that. So
Matt, that was the absolute perfect segue, because guess what? It's time
for community events.
Okay. What's so funny?
No, that was beautifully choreographed.
Thank you. And it was not planned. Summer Concert Series, the Rigsby Band. The City of Havelock invites you to the kickoff of their highly anticipated Summer Concert Series featuring the dynamic and talented assembly, the Rigsby Road. Playing May 30th from 6 to 8 p.m., Rigsby Road is an all-girl band known for their captivating performances that blends the cheerful twang of bluegrass with contemporary pop and rock. This event is free and will be located at Havelock City Park, East Main Street. Bring a chair.
That's right.
Or a blanket.
The New Bern Southpaws. What? Join us in celebrating our Diamond anniversary on the Diamond. The NCBA Division III World Series champions will take on the New Bern Southpaws for their opener May 30th at 6 p.m. at Kafer Park. That's tomorrow, located at 603 George Street. There will be a special appearance from our mascot, Blaze the Panther. There'll be some Craven swag and a few giveaways. Our national anthem will be performed by Craven's, a member of our gospel choir. And there'll be free admission for the first 100 people in the door. I also want to add a couple things to this. So because our team won the World Series, we'll be recognizing them on the field at 5:45. Okay. So Dr. Stats will be out there talking just to kind of help celebrate them, and the crowd can all cheer them on. For those who were not able to go up to Butler, Pennsylvania for their World Series win, we can make them feel the love there. That's right.
Ta-da.
And then if you see this, let me turn it the right way. Yeah. If you can see this, this is a commemorative baseball for the team. It says Craven Community College World Series Champions 2025. And we will be giving these out to the first 50 people in the door.
I got mine.
Stealing. So you don't want to miss that. And I know there are probably some folks wondering about the rain and the weather. No call has been made on that. The only call that has been made is that we are hoping for some sunshine that will help dry the field out so that we can have this game tomorrow between the Panthers and the Southpaws and really recognize our Panthers for that win.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Then let's escape to Margaritaville. This Friday and Saturday at 7:30 at the New Bern Civic Theater, we'll celebrate the legendary Jimmy Buffett with the last performance of Escape to Margaritaville. This jukebox musical blends his... Let's try that again. This jukebox musical
Are you wasting
blends,
away over there?
I am. Too many margaritas. Blends his many hit songs with a Paradise Island love story set in the tropics. Tickets can be purchased at newberncivictheater.org.
The summer concert series continues with The Stranger. Join New Bern Parks and Recreation at Union Point Park Friday, June 7th at 7:30 p.m. for the second concert of the popular Summer Footloose on the Noose. The Stranger, a Billy Joel tribute band, will be performing that day. The concert is free for everyone to enjoy. And looking at the photo of The Stranger, he looks like he really puts on a show. He's getting into it. I see we have some food trucks and drinks there, too,
Yeah.
so should be a good time.
Absolutely. Kind of looks like Billy Joel.
Yeah, Billy Joel with hair, looks like.
Billy Joel with hair and slim. All right, let's go to Card Haven Cards and Collectibles. Card Haven Cards and Collectibles is proud to present the Havelock Sports Card and TCG Show. What's TCG? Do we know? No? I don't know.
No, we'll come back to
We'll
it.
figure it out.
If they go, they might find out.
That's
that's
right.
right.
Perfect.
Good job. Come out from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Havelock Tourist Center to see their awesome vendors with 75 plus tables of sports cards and memorabilia, Pokemon, and other TCG cards, comics, and much more. Free admission for all. I would guess that if you're a collector, you know exactly what TCG is.
I would think so.
Yeah. I don't.
The Great Trent River Race. Get ready to set sail on an unforgettable adventure Friday, June 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Union Point Park. Watch out for the alligators. The Great Trent River Race is back. Build your own boat and compete with many others in a hilarious, exciting, and festive event. Even if you are not racing, there's still plenty of fun to be had. To learn more, visit the Great Trent River Raft Race.com.
Yeah. Be fun stuff going on.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is fun to watch. People make their silly little boats and
Ta-da.
yes, and they race out there. There's different categories too. I think they're all maybe self-propelled, but it can be like an actual boat or anything that you can nail
Float.
together and float.
Yeah. Whatever floats.
Yeah.
Okay, so love coming every morning, Thursday morning,
Yes.
and hanging out with y'all and you and whatever guest we have.
Are you breaking up with me?
I am, just for a little bit. So this is the last one for this.
It is. Yes.
For right
We're going
now.
on our summer break.
We're going to take a little bit of break, but we'll be back mid-July. Is that right? Is that what we decided?
Maybe something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put it out there.
We'll keep it.
We'll
keep
let you know.
Yeah. We might even put some teasers out. You know.
Oh, we could. Yeah.
We could. Like, what are we doing this summer? Kind of
Little
fun
updates.
stuff.
Maybe just some
Absolutely.
community events. Who knows?
Perfect. I like it.
Okay.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Once again, thanks, Matt, for being on the show with us
Thank you,
today.
guys.
Thanks for all your work in admissions
Absolutely.
and helping our students as they come in the door figure out how to become Craven Panthers.
We got a lot going on this weekend, but go out and support our champions. We're
That's
so
right.
proud of them. And if there's not anything else,
No, I think we're
everybody come and get registered for the B term, and for the fall, come and see Matt and his team. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Have a wonderful summer. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
good. Bye, everybody.